Hello, everybody. This is Catholic Dad, episode number 261, Intermittent Fasting. I don't know if everybody knows what this is, but it's really a hot trend right now. Father Mike Schmitz gave a little podcast about it with Matt Fradd, and he says he loves it. It really helps him out. Well, anyway, Catholic Dad actually tried intermittent fasting, and I started mid to late June. I don't even know when it is. So we're about I would guess 2.5 to 3 months into my intermittent fasting. And intermittent fasting is essentially this: is that you don't eat all day long. What you do is you re- you take a couple hours during the day where you're not going to eat, and so you slam all your eating into several hours of the day. And there's two ways to do this. Actually, there's probably many ways to do this, but the two ways that I've read about it is the 5-2 fast. You eat normally for 5 days, and 2 days a week you actually fast 500 calories a day, which is like no food at all. And then the 16-8, which is you fast for 16 hours a day, and you only eat for 8 hours a day. And if you do that all the time, it's intermittent fasting. People lose about 3% or 3 to 6% of their body weight just by virtue of following a schedule. And so, well, anyway, so what happened in Catholic Dad's life? Like, I've always been a pretty athletic guy. I used to run marathons. I've run 5 in my lifetime, but I was a bigger runner than that. I run, I don't know, hundreds and hundreds of half marathons, and I was always in really good shape, or reasonably good shape. Let's leave it at that. I never got fat, and I like to lift some weights as well. And so, well, anyway, December 26th, 2 years ago, so I'm about almost 2 years into this thing. It's September now. I had some tendonitis from running, and I slipped on ice. And I tore my gluteus medius muscle in my left leg, so I couldn't run anymore. And so I essentially rehabbed that, and then slowly over time, I kept lifting weights and stuff, but I couldn't really do aerobic very well. I was kind of cycling a little bit, and I was lifting some weights and just basically living my life. And it's been a heck of a little road to recovery. And I really have gotten out of the running scheme. I'm not burning a ton of excess calories. Well, not the other day, a couple months ago, I I noticed, boy, clothes are getting a little bit tighter. So I hopped on the scale, and I was up about 10 pounds from my fight weight, maybe even a little bit more than 10 pounds from my fight weight. And that did not make me happy at all. And I realized things weren't fitting very well. And I knew it was like I gained weight. I started gaining weight. I stopped exercising. And so then I was like, okay, I'll just watch what I eat. Maybe this was about half a year ago. And that wasn't working. Like, I was actually like, this is a problem. I'm not able to lose weight anymore. I'm 43 years old, and now I'm turning into an old man, and like a guy that's just going to start exploding and getting dad bod. I have 9 kids. I still like chasing the kids around and doing athletic things with them, going hunting and whatever else. And so that was kind of unacceptable. And I was kind of getting a little bit annoyed with myself that I didn't have the self-discipline to lose weight at the age of 43 like I did when I was a little bit younger. And plus, I didn't want to have to mile all those miles again because the hip and whatever else, I didn't want to re-injure it. And so I kind of took on this intermittent fasting thing, and I decided the 5-2 model, meaning fasting for 2 days a week and eating normally for 5 days a week, was not acceptable because I kind of need my energy, and 500 calories is not enough. And I do, I'm a pretty active guy. And so what I did was the 16-8. And I did for 16 hours a day, I would fast. So, like, I would eat until 7 p.m. at night, and I wouldn't eat again until 11 a.m. in the morning, or something like that, right? And early on, first couple of days, I was like, I'm kind of grumbly and really quite hungry at 11 a.m. That's kind of hard. But then I would eat, and then the hunger pangs would go away, and then I'd be really hungry by dinner time, like I'd eat at 6, till 7 o'clock. And boy, it was hard for a couple of days. But nonetheless, I persevered with it. And so I've been doing this for 2.5 to 3 months now. I'm down 10 pounds. I'm back to fight weight. Maybe I have one more pound to go. I don't even know. But it was relatively easy. Like, once I got through the early stage of, like, teaching my body that, hey, guess what? You don't need to eat in the morning anymore. Like, now I don't even crave food in the morning. And actually, I get a little bit hungry at noon, and I've been pushing the fast back now. Like, I don't do 11 a.m. in the morning. I start doing noon or noon 30 or 1 or something like that. And then I'll only eat, I'll fast for 18 hours a day and only eat for, say, 6 hours a day. And boy, I'll tell you what, the pounds just start shedding. And by the way, you still eat a full meal, you still eat a full lunch, and you still eat a full dinner, but you just don't eat outside of meals. The other thing that I did was I kind of gave up bread and ice cream, like almost entirely. Like I still occasionally have a hot dog on the weekend or something like that, with a bun, but not during the week. I'm not eating bread. And ice cream, I just had my first ice cream cake for my kid's 8th birthday the other day, and that was nice. But yeah, I pretty much gave up bread and ice cream. And one other thing I did was I kind of like drinking beer. I don't, not every day, maybe half days, or I have a couple beer or two after work, and then I changed that over to wine, actually red wine, and so because red wine's about half the calories as beer is, and so that's what I did. Those are my big changes. Don't do bread. Um, Beer to wine, right? And certainly don't do hard alcohol. That would be bad too. Um, and um, and wait, hold on. Oh, and ice cream. I gave up ice cream. And so I did that, and I'll tell you what, the pounds just start falling off of you, and you don't even know what's happening. You are kind of baseline hungry, but it starts to make it feels good baseline hungry. You're like, hey, I'm doing something. You're feeling good about it. The other thing that I noticed was my brain got a little clearer too. That little brain fog that comes with age. I was getting a little bit of that. That's not complete. I mean, it's almost completely gone. I feel really much sharper than I did before, and my prayer life has gotten better too. And so, therefore, maybe the Catholic Church is right that fasting is important because now my prayer life's better. I have a little more energy. I've lost 10 pounds now, if not a little bit more even. Think about 10 pounds. Think about 12 pounds, by the way. Let's say it's 12 pounds. That's 2 gallons of fat. That's what I lost, and I didn't even know I had it on my body. And now I'm feeling way better, and I'm happy. I'm happy. So intermittent fasting, I might do more videos on this in the future, but I'll tell you what, if you're struggling with weight out there and you haven't found a way to get rid of the weight, these code reds or these ketotic diets, they didn't never work. They didn't work. I tried them before, and like I need the carbohydrates. I just get so depleted if I don't have the carbs. So this intermittent fasting thing has worked beautifully well, and I can't even believe it actually. And so I might actually make it a new lifestyle for me because the fasting is spiritually good for me as well. So this is Catholic Dad making you think about it. Like or subscribe, get the Mass, and pray the Daily Rosary. God bless.